System 1 is your best ally. Now, recently I began writing down things I want to write down for myself and to remember them. So I began to compress ideas into often very short statements, often just a couple of words. One of them is System 1 is your best ally. Now, one could think about all the different entities in this world and what they want. And one could portray this want as a vector. So somebody wants maybe this, pointing into this direction, but also this. And so there might be a vector which might be in the middle of it. I might have a vector that points to there. And so the question is to which extent these vectors align. Now, who else, apart from me, does have a vector that is fairly aligned with myself? It's the other part of me, the part of me which I cannot really control. It's, as Daniel Kahneman and Amos, I will look this up. Amos Tversky, a Israeli cognitive psychologist who, together with Daniel Kahneman, wrote a book called Thinking Fast and Slow, in which they defined System 1 and System 2 as System 1 being kind of the subconscious part of the mind, and System 2 and also the fast thinking portion of the mind, and System 2 basically being the slower one. So this is the main differentiation, but there might be many others that are associated with this. So think maybe thinking of the conscious part of oneself as System 2, and the rational part and the part that is kind of awake and can do things and can speak, but of course somebody needs to provide the words, which in this case might be again System 1. So out of all the vectors of the different entities who want to do things, which other entity that I cannot really control but is still part of me has the best alignment in terms of the vector? It's System 1. So I might be better off if I try to work together with this one ally I have, which has quite similar goals, which is we want to both survive for quite some time. We want to maybe do other things which evolution has programmed into us, but we both might need food, we both might need other things that, well, like social relationships and so on and so forth. And so if I work together with this ally and don't try to... Of course there might be a relationship in which one part is more demanding and sometimes one needs to be less demanding, and sometimes I, for example, need to say to System 1, look, we need to work out as hard as we can right now, because otherwise there might be cardiovascular disease in the future, which eventually, if we are to max, for example, just decreases as long as we live and get older. Then there might be a point at which we cannot no longer walk up the stairs with a grocery bag. And so we have to prepare for this. And so now you don't want to work out, but I know to a certain extent that... And so System 1 might be also putting thoughts into my head, such as, I just want to stop right now, I can't. But what I'm trying to say here is that the relationship between these two entities that are me, and sometimes I think I'm the one, sometimes I think I'm the other, sometimes I think there are multiples of us, because it's maybe not as easy as differentiating just between System 1 and System 2, but there might be different sides to oneself. I might have the role of being a son, I might have the role of being a friend, I might have the role of something else. But what I'm trying to say here is that this is the entity that I need to cooperate with for the rest of my life, so I better invest time and attention into this.